mother is recovering well, and I will make sure that I ask about her timetable to return and how her injury is coming along.
And Mike, I guess I'll just start with the news of the day. I guess within the last 30 minutes, the Ravens have announced they've closed their facility and are maybe checking on the protocols. Are you guys doing anything specifically on your end to take extra precaution?
Everybody here is in, the league is in the extensive protocol. Players are physically distanced in meetings, just reviewing the tape. Had 10 guys in the weight room at a time this morning, just following all those guidelines and protocols. And I guess we'll just wait to hear from the league on any of the contact tracing.
And one football question from yesterday, Landry specifically in overtime, he shows up on the stat sheet 3 different times on their 3 plays in that series. What did you see from him down the stretch for you?
He's been solid. We have high expectations for Harold, and he has them for himself. And, we've asked him to do some different things yesterday. Get some things off the ball yesterday, just from the standpoint of scheme and stuff that we felt like would help us against them, which is probably, new for him, but he handled it well. He, showed up and was productive and did a lot of the things that we asked him to do that we thought were important for stopping the run game.
Teron?
Yeah, Coach, apparently some people on the field were able to hear you saying how the Ravens were wearing down. Is that something that was really obvious as you guys were going into the fourth quarter with Henry and the offense going?
Yeah, being where we were down 21-10, just proud of the guys that I think the physicality, I think playing physical isn't something that's defined in the first few plays of the game or the first quarter. I think it's something that's a cumulative effect that our guys are willing to play that way throughout the game and against a Ravens team that is just as physical but it was evident, I think, from where I was watching that late in the fourth quarter as well into overtime, that I think that our effort and finish was the difference in the football game.
And I don't have an exact number, but you guys have multiple come from behind victories, especially in the fourth quarter or overtime. But what is it about this team that has that resiliency to be able to come back like this?
Just a testament to our players and their character and their ability not to panic and understand, how we're trying to play the game and the amount of time that we have and our ability to be efficient so that we don't have to, burn timeouts. We had to burn one there to get the 2-point conversion attempted, which is somewhat uncharacteristic. But I know the guys were excited, and we just have to get back to the huddle and understand what we may be doing in the situation. So they fight and they compete to the end, and that was evident yesterday.
Thank you.
Eric?
Hey, Mike, how big a step was it for Isaiah Wilson yesterday just to be active, to go through the game day experience? And then if Ty does have to miss some time, do you expect Isaiah to compete with Quesenberry there for potentially a starting role?
Sure. I think we just have talked to Isaiah about continuing to string some days together, positive days, and coming in here and being prepared and practicing and proving to everybody that he knows what to do and he plays in a manner in which we expect our offensive linemen to play.
And then just to clarify, potentially moving forward, do you expect Ty to be out, long term, potentially the season?
We'll continue to evaluate Ty and see where he is moving forward.
John Glennon?
Mike, looks like we're starting to see some bigger numbers on kind of a regular basis from Corey Davis. Wondering what your thoughts are on his improvement this season, if you've noticed anything in particular, how he's upped his game.
I think as Corey continues to build his confidence through practice, that carries over to the game. There's a lot of details that go along with, being a great receiver, about the difference between man or zone and how you want to run a route. And those things, maybe where we're asking him to do, or the details of a play, for play action and the timing that's required for him and the quarterback. And so those things showed up. I think the really good play strength showed up, catching the ball in traffic. Corey was a big reason that we won that football game yesterday. And, we'll just have to keep continuing to improve.
And another one on Clowney. I guess there have been some reports that he's considering surgery on his knee. Do you expect him back this season, after the IR stint is up?
All I can tell you is that he's on IR right now. So when he would potentially return, I don't know. But it's not going to be this week or next week or the third week, however long he's got to be out with IR.
Thanks.
Terry?
Mike, obviously losing Jayon was a tough blow yesterday. How do you talk a little bit about the contributions that he's made this season and over the years, and also a little bit about Will Compton stepping in and replacing him?
I think Jayon's been in there since I got here. He's improved. I think that he's made a lot of huge plays for us, and unfortunate that he got injured yesterday. I know he'll support this team and his teammates however he can. But we'll have to get some guys going. We'll have to get guys in there, and we'll have to play with another inside linebacker. And yesterday that was Will, and we had a lot of guys that stepped in yesterday that hadn't started, hadn't played a bunch, and those guys were excited for their opportunity. They took advantage of them. They were ready to go. Will didn't have a whole lot of reps with the game plan, but was able to go in and execute it, made a lot of tackles, was active, made tackles at or around the line of scrimmage. And, I was happy for him and proud of him for being ready to go and taking advantage of the opportunity. And we'll try to get David Long back towards the end of the week as he returns from the COVID protocol.
Buck?
Hey, Mike, you got a lot of guys that took advantage of opportunities that you gave them yesterday with playing time. What did you see specifically from Amani Hooker, and what did you how did you feel about his week of preparation leading up into what was a starting role?
I think Amani's continued to improve. He's done some good things for us. He's a versatile player. He was able to make a great play there in the end zone, not foul. I thought that was a great play in the pass disruption. And then obviously to come down with the interception. I'm sure he'd like to have a couple tackles back, but I think he continued to work, and he's been in there and he plays on third down for us. And then when Kenny wasn't able to go, Amani stepped in there and did some really good things.
And I guess at what point did you guys know that Kenny wasn't going to be able to go, and what kind of happened there?
It just was evident late in the week that when he reported symptoms that he was in the protocol, and now he's working his way back through.
David, Beauclair?
Mike, Ben Jones was a guy who was able to play yesterday. What's it mean to teammates when a guy can sort of tough it out after not being able to practice during the week like he did yesterday?
I would love to hear what his teammates have to say for him, David, but I can only speak for myself and the coaching staff. The amount of respect that we have for a guy like Ben Jones. He never wants to come out. The respect that he has from his teammates is critical. The trust factor, he'll do whatever he can do to be out there with him, how much it means to him, how much football and how much his team means to Ben. I think he's at a point in his career where you give him that opportunity, you trust those types of players and say, hey, you're not going to practice all week, and if you tell me you can go, I believe that Ben Jones is going to go. not going to be a guy that goes out there for 5 or 6 snaps and says, "Well, I can't go." That's the type of person he is. That's the type of player he is, and he's a great leader for us.
Corey?
Hey, Coach, when you and John were constructing the roster, I mean, Corey, AJ, Derek, and I know you weren't here for all those guys, but now Isaiah, these are guys that are all bigger than normal for their position. Was this part of the plan, having these big bodies that would essentially wear people out in the third and the fourth?
I think that's certainly what we want to try to do. I mean, you can't do that everywhere. There's certain positions that that you're going to have matchups, but when you have a skill set of size and strength, you have to use it and play to it. But I think that's the type of team that we want. That's what when you can host and get in a position to do those and play those games late in the season, meaningful games late in the season, sometimes with weather is a critical factor. That those are the types of players that you're going to want to have.
And I wanted to ask you about your team's resiliency from the aspect that you had 1 million injuries headed into the game and then more during the game, and you're down 21-10. Yet you've established a culture where this team didn't feel sorry for itself. Is that one of the more gratifying things you've been able to do as head coach?
I think so. I think that we always talk about not having front runners and not having guys that are excited about playing and doing things when it's going well, but being able to withstand the tough times that come along with this game and this profession, that it's a grind, and being able to battle and withstand the grind.
Emily?
Hey, Coach. Just do you mind explaining a little bit of what kind of happens next with the protocols with the Ravens having the multiple positive tests? Obviously, since everybody's on the intensive protocols now, not a lot changes from your perspective. Is it just kind of a wait and see from the league as to what this does for you guys?
Yeah, Emily, I think that what happens is they go back through the contact tracing and they look at it from the game day with the people that are involved and kind of go from there. And we'll wait to see, and we're focused on what it is that we're doing here, and then they'll update us on whether they think that we need to have discussions about what transpired from the game.
Terry?
Mike, when you went back and looked at the film, how did Aaron Brewer do first time out?
Just like I said after the game, he competed, he finished. Wasn't perfect, but he battled. And I know in doing so, you earn the respect of your teammates when you're down there. And guys are catching passes, and he's pushing piles. There's pass to Johnny that he's going in there and trying to help Johnny get extra yards around the goal line, and AJ on the sideline. There's numerous examples, and that's what we believe in, is about effort and finish.
Jim?
Mike, obviously Lamar Jackson, a unique guy to prepare for. How did you kind of simulate what you'd see on Sunday in practices leading up to the game, and how do you think that paid off in the game?
Well, Cam Batson helped us out, and obviously Logan helped us out, but that was. It takes a group effort, for everybody to understand the plays and to be able to get the look and the speed of it. So a lot of credit to our show team and those guys running those plays for us.
And what's the challenge facing a team twice in 3 weeks, like you're going to do on Sunday against the Colts? And just what do you have to do better this time? Maybe it kind of goes without saying, but what's the challenge to your team as you see them again?
Just try to get some more stops, limit long drives, get off the field, try to be able to run the ball, try to be able to establish the line of scrimmage. be better on special teams, play more complementary, try to find ways to turn the football over and make sure that we're taking care of it.
John Glennon.
Mike, as you guys look at replacements for some of the positions that are had injured guys, is it reasonable at all to think there are free agents out there now that could be more than a depth player, or is it more of a situation of, you know, you're looking to the roster strictly?
You know, it's hard. You know, John and I talked about that today. You can bring somebody in that's not going to be available for the game, you know, going through protocol. So that you just try to stock the roster with guys and make sure that those guys on the practice squad are ready to go.
Right. And then curious, you know, the new rule with IR this year with just the 3 weeks, how much has that benefited, you know, your team? And, you know, would you be in favor of something similar, you know, sticking going forward?
And we've used it for a couple guys, and you know, we'll see about the guys that are on there now about coming off and, you know, returning to practice. You know, I mean, it gives you a lot of flexibility, which, you know, is always nice. You know, whatever they decide, we'll, like everything else, whatever they decide, that's what we do.
Thanks.
All right, Coach. Ran through all the questions. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.